What is up, vinyl community, VC? For those of you tuning in for the first time, my name is Kieran. Channel name is Needle Groove. For those of you that have been following for a while, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well again in this crazy time. Basically what I did this week is I decided I was gonna go through my jazz shelves, starting just with A and moving on from there, kind of taking the time to revisit a lot of stuff, clean it, you know, if it needs a new sleeve or whatever, and just give it a listen, refamiliarize myself with what's in my shelf. So I wanted to just show what I got through in the A section before it goes back on the shelf. There's not many of them. I got 6 records here, and a few of them I only listened to once, and some of them I listened to, you know, kind of just on repeat while I was working or whatever. So a few times. And let's get into it. So yeah, obviously this is my jazz alphabetical, but I have certain things on the shelves that are organized by label. So there'll be records by some artists that I'm going to show if I do manage to continue through the letters that will not be shown because they'll be in other sections. Maybe sometimes I'll decide to pull them out, or maybe eventually I'll get to the labels, but here we go. First one is Spellbound, and I apologize, it's getting dark out, so I have the light on. I hate the lighting, I hate doing this. And I have them in sleeves, which are super glossy, so you will have a reflection. I don't want to start taking them all out. Too much work, but I do love these sleeves because these are the sealable ones. I know a lot of people hate those because they rip. These ones don't rip. I get them at the shop here. These Japanese sleeves, never had one tear down the side, and they just make the covers look so much nicer because they are crystal clear. Yeah, that's on that. So yeah, this is Ahmed Abdul Malik with Ray Nance and Selden Powell. There's some other musicians on here. This is on Status, so you know, prestige, new jazz. This is the budget label. And yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful music. Most of the songs, I don't know if all of them are from movies, tunes from movies, but just the way they approach them and the feeling with Abdul Malik's playing is just gorgeous. I played this in the kitchen while I was cooking with my girlfriend, and she's like, this sounds like Paris. But yeah, it's kind of romantic music, but beautiful. The sound of his bass. I don't know the other musicians on here. You have Hamza Eldin on oud, which adds to the just kind of the beautiful quality of the music on here. Selden Powell, who I mentioned, Ray Nance on cornet and violin, Paul Neves, who I don't know, Neves on piano, Walter Perkins on drums. But yeah, if you don't know this one, I mean, it's straight music, but just the tone, the feeling, the energy is beautiful. Peaceful music. And this, when I play it on my system here, it doesn't sound great. There is just that like shitty vinyl that it was pressed on, so there's like kind of a noise floor. But when I play it in my kitchen on my other system that's, you know, whatever, I don't really hear the surface noise, so that was nice to find out that I can enjoy it that way. Okay, next we have Abdullah, Life Force. This is on About Time Records. I didn't say that this one's from 1964. So this is Abdullah, Life Force, About Time Records. Look at these, just both of these covers, these pictures that they've made the covers with are beautiful and kind of representative of the music, let's say. This is another great record, super accessible to get, like not expensive, but there's a lot of sealed copies around. This is the first record on About Time Records. which is kind of, I think, was like putting out loft music around from New York, and this is one from 1979. They didn't put out many records, and they're kind of, some of them are, they were doing it until the mid 80s, but Secco Funk has a whole video, if you go back into his old videos, about the label and the records on there. But if you just listen to the names of the songs on here: Eternal, Spiraling Spirit, and Asunta, Song of Tenderness, A Long Time Black, and Life's Force. Just beautiful record. Rashid Sinan, I don't know a lot of musicians on here. Jerome Hunter on bass, I do know, and Jay Hoggard on vibes. I don't know this Munir Abdul Fattah, but if you don't know this record, go check it out. Abdullah was a sideman with Sun Ra, so I've read. I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm not an expert in Sun Ra, and you know, I know a lot of the people that played with him just from over the years, but don't know all of them because there's a lot. Check this one out. Next up, I have filed under John Abercrombie because it's the first name on the cover, but it's not actually, there is no designated leader on here. It's credited to all three: John Abercrombie, Dave Holland, and Jack DeJohnette. This is Gateway, the crazy cover art there. This is on ECM, and it's ECM, the 61st release from 1975. This has some really earthy, like grounded, deep stuff, sounding tunes and energy they create here. And then it also has just kind of Abercrombie wailing on the guitar, more, you know, hard driving fusion type sounds, songs. And I dig both, and definitely more, you know, connect more with the earthy, grounded stuff. But overall, a really enjoyable record on the ECM label. I do enjoy, I posted this on Instagram, and I think it's the most comments I've ever gotten on a post. And I think people thought, you know, I mentioned I'm not a huge fan of the ECM sound, but and then people were commenting. I think maybe they assumed I didn't have any records or many. I do have quite a few ECM records, and there are several that I enjoy, but there are a lot of ECM records, and a lot of them kind of fall into a similar sound to me that doesn't resonate. Obviously, there's a lot of outliers within that. This has a little bit of that ECM sound, but not right in that pocket that I'm kind of like, when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of dismiss the record, which I shouldn't do. But it's, you know, you can't listen to everything. But there's some great records on ECM that are not at all in this vein. But, you know, Stanley Cowell's release, Illusion Suite, is one of my favorites. Yeah. Gateway. Apparently there's a Gateway 2, a lot of people commented. Thank you everyone that did. Honestly, tons of recommendations. So there's a few that I didn't know about that I will check out, and then a lot of the ones people were mentioning in the comments I did have and know. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. You know, comment. It's a great way to chat about music. Next up, we have this record, Sight Song. It's a duo record, Muhal Richard Abrams featuring Malachi Favors, on Black Saint. This is actually the third record on Black Saint. I think the original pressing of this would have the black and white Black Saint label. Don't know if I actually have any records with that label, but this is the traditional Black Saint colorful label. So, you know, you have piano on here and bass and miscellaneous percussions and vocals. And honestly, when I first listened to this was recorded in October of 1975, released 1976, and it's a great record. I almost, when I first got this, I was like, and played it, I was like, nah, not really for me. But the more I sit with it and spin, and it grows on me, and the first track, I think maybe it doesn't resonate with me as much as some of the rest of the album, which is when I first played it, I was like, man, this kind of didn't get me going. But as you listen to it, it just, once again, I know a lot of these records I'm describing as beautiful, but it is the energy, the interplay between them. You know, it's sparse, it's intense as well. It's both of them. I love when there's just open kind of bass solos, long extended tracks with a focus on the bass. Really resonate with me, and that features a lot of this. So if you're like me in that sense, that you love kind of deep bass playing, not deep in the sense that bass is deep, but just like the energy that they create within the song, and the solos are really hit me and speak to me. George Adams, Suite for Swingers. This is with Don Pullen, David Friesen, Danny Richmond, and Alfonso Vieira. I don't know who that is, but this is on Horo Records, and this is 3 tracks, 1 side-long one, the title one, Suite for Swingers, which is gorgeous, great. Features some of that, you know, bass work that I was telling you, although it's a quintet. And then you also have, so there's drums and percussion on here, and then it's just bass, piano, and tenor sax. There is this song on side 2, Blues by the River, which I don't like as much. It has vocals, but the title track, 22 minutes long, Suite for Swingers, and Melodic Rhapsody are amazing. I love them. This isn't expensive either, even though it can be hard to find this Horo stuff because it's an Italian label. This one I found in the US, and I know there's copies for sale on Discogs. I'm sure you can sample it. I like George Adams' tone with the saxophone. His playing is great. And then there's also this one, which is later. So this is from, I think, 75. And then this is George Adams Quintet from 79 on Muse. None of the same players playing with him. This one has varied, well, as is that one, but like this has some deep kind of reflective songs. City of Peace would be my favorite, but then it also has a 14-minute track called Invisible Funk a Rooney Peacock. Less my thing, kind of like a funky free jazz vibe, but City of Peace is exactly what it sounds like. Gorgeous music. And then I also, in the first track, Intentions, Metamorphosis for Mingus is a great track as well. Both a structural and emotional tribute to the late musician. Yeah. So this one's, I guess was also, this is like, would be the American release on Timeless Muse, and then it would have just been on Timeless, the Dutch release, which I don't see many of those. So that's it for the beginning of my jazz shelves. Though obviously if I continue doing this, there'll be videos. If I make videos with all of them, I might just continue and not necessarily make all the videos, but there'll be obviously chunks of artists, because there are quite a few artists that I have a lot of records. Here there was only one double. But yeah, that's it. Hope everyone's doing well. And like I said, if it's your first time tuning in, hit the subscribe button. If you don't follow me on Instagram, Neil Groove Vinyl, and leave a comment. Peace.